we are going to read this passage about animal adaptations. So what I want to show you first is what we're going to learn about. Does that sound good? Okay. So look up here, and then we'll look at this in just a minute. Okay. We are going to, can you see right here?
Yeah.
It says, I can preview the headings to identify the topic, which is animal adaptation. So that we're going to look at it first. Okay. I can predict what I will learn about animal adaptations. So we're going to see what you think we might learn about. I can read to tell that adaptations help animals survive. And I can read to tell examples of animal adaptations. And we'll learn what animal adaptations mean. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what do you see right here? A skunk. Okay. Tell me about the skunk.
The skunk sprays when it's frightened.
Okay. Skunk sprays when it's frightened.
Black and white.
It's black and white. Okay. Good. Anything else that you can notice about the skunk?
It looks like it's a baby.
I think that one might be a baby. It's cute. It's kind of cute, isn't it? I wouldn't want to be near it, but it's kind of cute in the picture. So what we're going to do, we're going to look at animals like the skunk, and we are going to see, we're going to learn what an adaptation is, and we're going to learn how those help him survive. So, and survive means how animals stay alive. Okay. All right. So, you've looked at the skunk. Have you ever seen a skunk in real life?
Yes.
You have. You have. What? Tell me about the experience you had.
I was kind of scared. I ran away.
Why did you run away?
Because I didn't want to spray me.
Okay, good. So if skunks spray, why do skunks spray?
Because sometimes they get scared.
So that's something to help them survive.
Yeah. And what did it help you do? Or what did it make you do?
Run.
Y'all run away. Good. Okay. Before we start looking at this, we're gonna talk a little bit about some of the vocabulary that's in here. Okay. So this skunk is special. What are some of the things that make a skunk special?
It's spray.
Okay, it's spray. Good. What else? If you saw a skunk, how would you know it was a skunk?
Oh, because it's black and white, and you know, and basically almost everyone knows that it's white and black.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you know what that's called? Certain things that, like the skunk is black and white, or something that makes you stand out like that, is called a characteristic. You want to say that with me? Characteristic. So you know when you're, well, I'll just start here. So what's something that makes me stand out, or something that, one of my characteristics is that I have brown eyes. Okay. What's another characteristic?
Brown hair.
I have brown hair. Okay. Does that make me stand out? Would that help you know that it's me if you saw me, my brown eyes and brown hairs? Mm-hmm. Or brown hair? Yeah. So what are some of your characteristics?
Black hair.
I have brown eyes.
Okay, you have brown eyes. Good. What else?
My dark hair.
Your dark hair? Yep. Good. How about you?
Soft hair.
Soft hair. Okay. Yeah. It's a characteristic. What else?
Short hair.
Short hair. Good. Yeah. So that helps you stand out, right? So if I saw someone walking by and they had long hair, I would know it wasn't you, because that's one of your characteristics. Good. And we've talked about what makes a skunk different. And then we talked about it sprays something so smelly because why?
So to protect itself.
To survive, to protect itself, right? Because what does it do? It makes you stink. You'll run away, right? When you see a skunk. And so what those are, the skunk spray, what we were talking about, that makes you run away, that's called an adaptation. Say adaptation. Adaptation. And an adaptation is a characteristic. Remember, we talked about a characteristic, which right now we're talking about what characteristic of the skunk? It's spray. It's smell, right? Yeah. So an adaptation is a characteristic that helps it survive or stay alive. It keeps them safe in their environment. What is the environment?
The woods.
The woods. It's where they live. So it keeps animals. Those adaptations keep animals safe in their environment. And like you said, it lives in the forest. And why would his spray help him in the forest?
Because predators try to eat them.
Predators might try to eat them. What do you think? Same thing. Why do you think Why do you think, Kelly, that it's black and white? What do you think a skunk might be black and white?
So it can blend in.
Maybe. Well, what did we talk about? We know that skunks stink, and we know that their characteristic is their black and white stripe. So if I saw something with the black and white stripe, then that means I need to what? Run away. So do you think that might help the skunk too?
Yeah. It's a win-win.
It's a win-win. Yeah, right. It's a win-win. You're safe. I'm surviving. I'm not getting sprayed. Right? Okay, I'm going to tell you a quick story about a skunk and a possum. So we live close to the woods, or sort of kind of close to the woods, and so we get all kinds of animals in our house. We get possums, we get skunks, we get raccoons. The other day I found a chicken in my backyard. I have no idea because the chickens don't live in the woods by where I live. And so my husband looked out on the patio because we have these big windows. He looked out on the patio and he was like, "There's a skunk out there." I was like, "Are you serious?" I looked out and he's like, "There's a possum out there." I'm like, "Are you kidding?" And as soon as we kind of really looked out there, guess what the skunk did to the possum? Sprayed the possum. And it smelled so bad that we could not even stay in the front of our house. We had to go in the back of our house because it stunk so bad. So that's our
So it was in the front where they sprayed.
In the front of the house?
Yeah.
It was on the back. It was like the back porch. Yeah. And so it sprayed there and it worked. I can see why animals and people run away. I'm just glad it wasn't me. Okay, I'm going to show you another animal. Okay. And when I show you this animal, I want you to tell me what characteristics you notice about this animal. Okay. Let's look at this one. Okay, what kind of animal is this?
Duck.
Okay, a duck. What characteristics do you see?
He has a green head.
He has a green head. Okay.
His beak is yellow.
He's got a beak. What else?
He has feathers.
He has feathers. What else do you see? Okay, good. Okay, what else might you notice?
You can see them float in the lake.
Okay, yeah, you can see them swim. What helps them swim, do you think?
Their feet.
Their feet. What else do they have?
Wings.
Wings, yep. Okay, so the duck has a lot of characteristics that make it stand out, right? If you saw this, you would know that was a duck. But how does a duck's adaptations help it survive?
With its feet can help it swim.
And why would it need to swim? How would that help?
So if someone tries to grab it, it can just swim away.
Good. What else? What do ducks usually find in the water? What might they? Maybe their food. They can find some of their food in the water.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay. What helps them
It's
get their
easier
food?
to live.
It's easier to live.
The beak.
Yeah, the beak. Or have you seen a duck before?
Yeah.
Or fed it? Okay. And when it's on the ground too, what does it do?
It pokes it
Why does it poke it?
to grab its food.
To get its food into its beak.
So what is that? What is the duck's adaptation to help it eat?
It's beak.
Its beak. And does it need its beak to survive?
Yeah.
It does because it needs to what?
Eat.
To eat. And what could its feathers be used for?
To like fly or like just scare them away. Like,
Oh yeah, flap. Have you ever seen a
Scares
goose
me.
do that? Yeah, good. Yeah, I like that. I didn't even think about that. And then why would it need to fly away?
So they wouldn't be able to reach it all the way.
Yeah, good. All right, what we're gonna do now is we are going to look at these pages right here. It's from a textbook, okay? And this will tell us all about animal adaptation, okay? So what we're first going to do, remember what we talked about where we said I was going to preview the section to identify the topic? When I look at this, I notice this, it says snowshoe hare, and I notice that the hare, the rabbit, is white, and the snow behind it is white as well. Let's turn the page and see if you notice anything else. Okay, this is all about adaptations, but what I want you to do is I want you to tell me what you notice about this chapter. So what do you notice just looking at the page?
It's gonna be about the duck's adaptations.
Okay, about the duck's adaptations. What do you think? What do you notice? Just tell me something you notice. Anything?
We're gonna read about adaptations.
Okay, we're gonna read about animal adaptations. Notice on this page.
That
The tigers blend into the background.
Mm-hmm. The tiger's blending in the background. What do you notice?
that it's probably a cub.
It's probably a cub. And I noticed too, this chapter is called Animal Adaptations. Okay, look on the last page right here. What are some things you notice on that page?
Lots of cool animals.
Mm-hmm. Lots
They
of cool.
blend into the
Mm-hmm.
their habitat.
Some of them, they blend into their habitats. Good. Or the heading. We're going to look. This is the heading. So point to the heading, and which is right here. So that tells you that that chapter is going to be about adaptations. And then we are going to turn those headings into a question. So I'm going to show you one, and then we're going to do one together. Does that sound good? Okay. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to write our questions right here. And then, excuse me, hopefully we'll answer the questions, or we'll use our questions and take notes, and we'll answer them after we read that, okay? So this first section right here is called adaptations. So I can turn this into a question by maybe asking, what is an adaptation? Okay, I'm gonna write that right here. What is an adaptation? And we will read that in a minute and see if we can answer that question. So let's go ahead and turn to the next page. You see the page with the tiger on it? Okay. And this one is called Animal Adaptations. So what is a title, what is a question we could ask about that?
Why do animals need adaptation?
Why do animals need adaptations? Good. Can you think of one that we might use? Or do you think that's one, or do you want to go with that one?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one. I like it. Okay, good. All right, so now we're going to turn this over. And what we will